So the next two videos and the last two videos for the lecture for this section are just examples of finding the domains of functions given formulas. All right, so first one, f of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 1, where x is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 5. What's the domain? Well, it just told you the domain, right? X is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 5. If the domain is given, then that's the domain. None of those rules on the previous page apply. So the domain is x is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 5, or 0, 5, open paren, 0, 5, close square bracket, right? And that's just because it's given. So it's kind of a trick question. Just to see if you understand. Suppose you have g of x equals 2x to the fourth minus 3x squared plus x minus 1. What is the domain? Well, it's a polynomial. And so the domain's not given, so we assume the implied domain, the largest subset of the real numbers, that makes sense in the formula is all it is, right? That'll give you real numbers out when you plug them in. Well, any real number will work. So it's a polynomial, there's no restrictions, so my answer is all real numbers, which can be written as a blackboard R, all real numbers, or negative infinity to infinity with parentheses, inside parentheses, right? Since no domain was explicitly stated, and the argument, x in this case, has no restrictions. That is, a polynomial function can be evaluated for any real number and get a real number out. Okay, so h of x equals the cube root of x squared minus 1. Well, x squared minus 1 is a polynomial, so there's no restrictions on x from that. The cube root of x squared minus 1 is an odd root, and there's no restrictions on the argument, x squared minus 1, for odd roots. So there's no restrictions on anything, so the answer is all real numbers. So I wrote that out for you here. Cube root has no restrictions on its argument because n3 is odd, n equals 3 is odd. The index is odd. X squared minus 1 has no restrictions. Its argument is x, right? Because it's a polynomial. So there's no restrictions, right? So you get R, blackboard R, all real numbers, or you can call it in interval notation, it's parenthesis, negative infinity, comma, infinity, parenthesis, right? Okay, one last video.